Anthony Hartwig, Ty Bartell here with another softball preview, Coach's Corner. We're joined by someone I think that we wouldn't hesitate to call a legend in the softball world here in the Valley, Cheryl Weaver, the head coach of the champion softball team. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking.
Coach Weaver, what we like to do with all of our area teams and coaches, we always like to kind of start off with a meet the team segment. Now, we know some of the names in this champion community and we know some of the returners, but I want to give you the chance to highlight some of your returners this year and some new faces we're going to see in the Flashes team this year.
Well, let's see. What I'd really like to say is about Abigail Metters, who didn't. She was mostly our JV pitcher last year, and she is stepping up into the varsity level, and she's going to be on a little bigger stage this year, and I think that she's going to do well. I really believe in her, and she feels like she has big shoes to fill, which you look back, yes, but I think she'll do a well job. And then catching her this year as a freshman, Addie Wazella, and I'm very impressed with her. So I think she's going to bring a lot to the team with how vocal she is, and plus with her bat, plus the catching. And of course, we still have Bella Meyer at shortstop, and Bella, as a freshman, she had the second highest batting average, I think, at the end of the season. And it's going to be very exciting to watch her play. She's so quick at shortstop and a good arm. But I'm excited to see what she does with the bat for us. I think she's the one that is going to be very exciting to watch. We have at third base the same young lady we had before, and that's Taylor Fuller. And Taylor really surprised us. When she usually plays on her travel ball team, she says she's outfield. We needed a third baseman. We brought her in, and she just did a tremendous job. And I think this second year being there, it's going to be a little more relaxed for her. At first base, we have Maddie Jones. Maddie's a great leader. Same thing. I'm really hoping that she'll be very vocal and help the girls out, especially the girls in the outfield, not knowing where to throw the ball sometimes. With us being so late getting on our field, we haven't yet. The outfield is going to be probably a little shaky in the beginning because it's very hard to work on in a gym or even in a small parking lot. But out there in the outfield, center field will be Madison Ziegler. She would have played her freshman year, and that was the COVID year where there was no season. And then the following year, when we were back, she had to have the Tommy John surgery. And she still gets a little bit swollen and a little bit of pain when she's throwing, but she's probably got the best arm on the team. If you're measuring by miles per hour. So she throws the ball hard, and she covers a good area and is not afraid to dive. Left field would be Morgan Davis. She'll be playing a lot more than what she did last year, and I think that another year experience is really going to help. She's quick, and her batting seems to have really picked up this year. So I'm excited to see Madison too. And then between second and right field, we have Savannah Travarich and Olivia Zigorovich. And I'll be honest, I'm still not sure who's going to be playing where. In the scrimmages that we had at YSU, it was hard to decide, but till you get outside on the big field, then so that's still something up in the air. And then we've got a bunch of freshmen. We do not have a JV team this year, which is sad. It seems like every year that we've had a very good season, our numbers go down. But I'm hearing it from other coaches too. And then there's the few that always have a lot. So that's great for them, but I wish I had a few of their numbers. So when we start getting into that, the talent level or the experience comes into play.
Mm.
And I'm hoping I'm able to use those young ladies. But it's going to be tough because I think we're going to have some pretty tough games and close games. And, we like to win.
Coach, you've obviously had to fill the holes that really good seniors have left before. This is not a new thing for you. I mean, you lose your 1-2 punch from last year in Cassidy and Emma both graduating in the pitcher circle. Now you have to bring in a new pitcher that, like you said, is going to be kind of introduced to this varsity level.
Yeah.
What are some of your strategies to not just pitching, but all these positions, kind of introducing players to this new standard and champion in this varsity standard when they're coming in to fill the holes of some really great players that left before them?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is making sure they stay positive. And I'm not going to say names, but there's a couple that they feel that they're not good enough because they look at those past ladies. And it's like, not every year, do you have 2 D1 pitchers or D2 ball players. You just don't have that in a smaller D3 high school. So you can't compare yourself to those girls. You just go out there, you work your hardest and give us all you got, and we can't ask for anything more. But it's making them feel positive on this, that they can do it. Nothing is impossible.
Experiencing the success that you have in your coaching career is one that I think a lot of coaches would die for. To winning a state championship is hard, but doing it 3 times consecutively is it seems impossible. Talk to me a little bit about just creating that standard for champion too, because we know all teams nobody gets handed, and no team just starts out as a championship caliber team. Those are worked on, they have to be created, and they have to be done brick by brick. Same thing as like YSN's logo. So when we're talking about this, what are some things that you've done to help build this champion program up? And I gotta figure you can't be more proud than how it's all turned out by right now.
Well, you know what? Thank you very much. But actually, it started the very first year, 1978, when Champion won the very first state championship. And from that point on, and then they turn around and win it again in 1980. I think that says something about the young ladies in Champion. They are athletic. I got to just say that. And they've always had the love for the game of softball. So when you have that, and then you have in 1994, you've got Jackie Beavers coming in, and the rest of the players on that 1994 team that won it again. And now you're starting to see some of these girls that were coming up like 2004, 2006, when we were at state, that they look up to those girls and that's who they want to be like. So it started back then. I never started it. It started back then because I didn't come in till the 1999-2000 school year. But, we were always looking at pictures, and that's what you want to be like. The names up on the wall, of the girls that were on those earlier state teams. And that's something I like to always have up because I want to see their names up there. I want to see their year up there on the banner saying that, they went as far as possible. But it has started, I really believe it started way back then. I just try to keep it going.
You talk about these girls that look up to the girls of the past, and now we're sitting just 2 years removed, really, from a stretch where you guys won 3 in a row. Do you still see the footprints of all those leaders from 2017 to 2019 in these girls that are coming to your program now?
Well, the only thing I will say there is what really hurt us was that year that we did not play, because the girls that are now the older girls on this team, they would have got to play with them just 1 year. and they would have seen how these girls carried, or those girls carried themselves, their desire and their work ethic, because their work ethic was just amazing. I I can tell you, we played LeBray. LeBray and Champion always have tough games. We won, but the girls were so unhappy that the game was so close. After we got off the bus, an hour later, they were down at the field practicing. And I tell that to the girls that are with us now, and I'm not sure they believe me. And I think they really needed to see that. So they know the names. And like I said, I think some of them are like, oh, I can't fill their shoes. They're just a little bit scared about it. But I think if they would have got to play that 1 year, or even half of that year, what it would have shown them.
For the younger girls too, we already know the only way you kind of get experience is experience. But one way you could kind of help these younger girls out with kind of getting that high tension, high pressure experiences, the regular season too. So in saying that, you guys already play in a pretty tough league, as you mentioned too, with that MVAC, right? But kind of take that a step further. What are some of these non-conference games that you're kind of excited for these girls to see pitching wise, hitting wise, and kind of get their feet wet before the tournament?
Well, we were supposed to start off with Maslin Perry, who was the last D1 state champion, and it would have been wonderful to play them, but this weather. So we have them rescheduled later, so that'll be good. Chardon is another D1. We're gonna play them later on. Perry up north, they're a D2, so it's been a long time since we've played them, but they're usually pretty good. We scrimmage West Branch, we scrimmage Poland indoors, but indoors is completely different than being out. And I was very pleased on how the girls played and how they hit. But there's going to be some tough ones. We're going to go to Erie McDowell. That's, if you know anything about Erie, PA, that school is like a college campus. There are college campuses that aren't as nice as that. So, and they've got so many kids, and their program is always tough. So we're looking forward to those games. And I love the girls seeing how those girls carry themselves, and also the different kind of pitching they're going to see.
And you have a new team in the MVAC this year too, with Garrettsville Garfield coming in. I know it's a team that you've probably played before. It's a little bit of a rivalry even before you guys came into the MVAC with Garfield and Champion in these girls' sports. Talk about how excited you are to kind of welcome them into the MVAC and to get to play them twice a year.
Oh, you know what? Garrettsville is also one of those schools that I want to say it seems like their girls are very athletic. You got them winning state in track and field and throwers, and it's exciting to play them because they're always so good. And Portage County can be pretty tough, so we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to playing everyone in our league. We have a goal. As always, you want to win league first and then worry about the rest later. But it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting to play them.
I've always said too, the difference between a successful team and a successful program is what you're doing to build those younger players up as you're fielding senior players. And it seems like this team has always been successful. So in saying that, I want to ask the question, what is that standard to playing Flash's softball? In other words, when you come up and you play at this varsity level, what do you hope it means to the girls? And what would you hope they kind of repeat to other people, what it means to them to be a Flash at the end of the day?
Well, you got to have some pride, and I hope that that's what they have. I'm on Champion softball team because of all the past girls that have been on it. It's you got to have a little bit of pride, and it's the belief that you can do it. I guess that's one of the biggest things, is knowing it's not just you. There's 9 girls on that field, and with the DP Flex, you got 10 girls in the game, but everybody's got the other girls back. And if you do that, you can go very far. So I guess I'm just hoping that they have the pride of as being on a champion team.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, give a shout out to the champion community. I know they support you so well. And also let them know when the first game is going to happen. I mean, I know it's been a crazy schedule. There are probably a lot of changes to what schedule they're looking at as fans. So give a little bit of an update on when your first game is and when they can come out and see the flashes.
Well, actually, today Brookfield's supposed to come to us, and I actually got a text from my AD saying, "Cheryl, can you go check the field?" So I'll be right after this heading down to the field and seeing if it's playable. But I had already asked the AD, "Hey, if Brookfield's field is playable, is there a chance that we could get a bus and go there?" So we're hoping we can play, but this rain that came through, who knows what it did. So the community has been just tremendous to us. You can't ask for better fans. I know every community probably says the same thing, but they have helped us out, financially and just being there. And we've got gentlemen that haven't had kids in the program for 20 years, and they still show up and watch, and that really means a lot. And I want to thank them, thank the school, and I got to thank my husband for allowing me to do this.
Right.
Coach, I also want to give you that chance to shout out your assistants and just some other big names in the champion program, because we know the players, the coaches, they get all the limelight, they get the spotlight, but there's plenty of other assistants and contributors to all these programs that certainly help out too. So I want to give you that chance to shout them out now.
Are you talking this year, or are you talking
if you want to go this year, and then if you want to extend it beyond that, we could always we could take extra thank yous too.
Oh, well, you know what, I want to thank Larry Seifert. He was one of my coaches back in, I believe it was 2004. I got that. I'm bad now with years. My husband can rattle it off, but I'm bad anymore with that. But we coached together in travel ball, and he's just a wonderful man and a wonderful coach. And he taught me so much. And I guess that would be my biggest thank you to a coach. He's just a wonderful man, and I don't want to get all teared up or anything, but he's just, I just got to thank him the most. But otherwise, I mean, I have had so many coaches in the past, and you know what they say, if you want to be a good coach, you better put people around you that know just as much as you do or more. And I have been blessed with that over all the years. And that is another reason why we have gone as far as we have. Because if you keep the right people around you, it makes a world of difference. This year I have Jacqueline Carpenter and Abby White helping me, and I'm very thankful for them. I've been at Champion 23 years, and I'm thinking maybe a couple more years, and I'm hoping that Abby White, who played for me and was our third baseman, will be able to take over the job. But who knows what will happen there. But I love that she's with us now, and she's learning a little bit and what it all takes to be a head coach. And I think a lot of people don't realize all the work that we have to do, just even paperwork. It's just amazing. But I just have to thank every coach that was with me in the past.
It's got to be such a blessing to have someone that you used to coach come out and be on your assistant staff, and then be someone who you're considering to take the reins when you do decide that it's enough. Coach, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it so much. We can't wait to cover you guys all season long. We know we're going to talk to you again soon because we know how successful this program is going to be, and we look forward to the future with Champion Softball.
Oh, you know what? Thank you so much for those kind words, and you guys take care, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you, Coach. We